Stephanie Milky here, aka Keto Mom, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the Keto Mom podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the Keto Mom Secrets podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and we are sitting outside in Florida. My kids are in the pool. I've got the teenager sunbathing over here. Hey, as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? And I wanted to hop on here real quick to say good morning and just answer the question, why is mindset so important? So we like to go through books here in the morning, or just give you something to think about, something to elevate your thinking as you're going throughout your day. So what I'm so thankful for is that my husband and I have had some incredible mentors. I should tell my children to not be so loud. We have had some incredible mentors. We've had some incredible friends. We have been blessed with the understanding and awareness of working on your mindset and how to fix it, how to shift it, how to get it back on track. Like even just having the awareness of, hey, I actually can control my attitude. I can control my day. I can control my outbursts. I can and I will. And if you choose to actually work on this, it will affect the rest of the areas in your life. And so it's super important. We love to read. We love to listen to podcasts. I love to listen to lots of different things. Actually, you know what I'll do today is I'm going to take a picture of my favorite podcasts and I'll put them in my stories. If you're looking for somebody really inspirational, somebody super great, full of wisdom to listen to, I will put it in my stories if you need a podcast to listen to. But in general, I want you to know that your mind is powerful. The way that you think is important. The way that you think determines, honestly, where you're going to be in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, and later on down the road. If you think negative, if you don't realize that your thinking plays a huge impact on your life, you're probably going to end up somewhere where you don't want to be. But if you can go, oh my goodness, you're right. Like the way that I think, the way that I speak, my EQ and my AQ play a huge factor in my life. I want to go here. And the way that I'm going to get there is starting here. It's super important. What I love about traveling. So we're traveling for a little bit. We are in Florida. We homeschool. We've got 4 girls. We are a homeschool family, and I love to look at traveling as like life experiences. So what's so great is my husband takes trips like this, and he likes to teach the girls things like, how would you navigate through an airport? Hey, teaching them about their own thinking. Hey, how would you figure this out? Can somebody look on their phone and figure out the closest beach? Like we like to do life school. And two of the things that we've been talking about is collecting the facts. And collecting the facts thing, the word like not being offended, I talked about that a couple of days ago, maybe it was yesterday. And then AQ, adaptability. And so if you've never thought about any of those things, those are things that are in our common conversations with our children every day. Collecting the facts. I've had to do this the last couple of days. It's so easy to judge people, right? It's so easy to go, oh my goodness, like to look at somebody on social media, to think that you know what their life is like. Maybe you've assumed certain things and you have no idea. So one of the biggest things I tell people, because just so you know, the way that you think, the way you perceive people, you holding on to offense, you not understanding that there's AQ and EQ affect how you see your own life and if you choose to reach your goals or not. So collecting the facts. Don't ever assume you know somebody's story. If you have questions, you want to understand why somebody does something, you might hear somebody gossiping, like collect the facts, go straight to the source and ask the question. I actually did that last week. I had some preconceived notions about somebody who was, without being super
I had some and I don't want to, it doesn't matter. Instead of letting my mind assume something about somebody, I went to somebody who's super close friends with them, because I'm not super close friends with this person. And I said, I don't want to feel this way about that person. Here's the things that somebody told me. And I actually don't think it's real, but it's already in my mind. I actually want to know, like, here's some facts I'm curious about. If this person's going to speak into my life in a roundabout way that we've allowed them to, I actually need to make sure this is correct. And I collected the facts, and it was not, right? Usually gossip is not correct. Things like not being offended. I've talked about that in here before, but like offense creates a root in your life, a root in your heart. It affects you more than the person that you have unforgiveness for. Forgiveness allows you to be free for your own heart. That has nothing to do with your thinking, but kind of. Here's something that we talk to a lot with our kids about as we're traveling and just in life, is something called AQ and EQ. AQ stands for your adaptability. EQ stands for how well you handle your emotions. Both of those things cause people to eat. Both of those things cause people to stress out and to use food as a reward or a comfort. So like you've got your IQ. So anytime that we're doing something with our family, traveling, life, and something comes up where we have to be adaptable, I'll say, hey, this is going to test your AQ. Hey, this is going to help you be more adaptable. It's going to help you be a problem solver. This is going to help you being able to handle your emotions, your EQ, and to not to like freak out, not being able to handle your emotions. Like all of those things affect your thinking. And ultimately, it's so silly to think about, because sometimes people think I can just break my addiction of food. Hey, I should be able to just break my addiction of food, or why I'm overeating, or why I choose to go to food or skip the gym or make excuses or feel a certain way. And it starts with this. And this also has to do with you having an awareness of how you handle life and understanding of there is something called adaptability quotient. I know that when I get in situations, I'm not very adaptable. I need to work on that. Now you have an awareness of two words, AQ and EQ. When you find your day not going the way that you want it to, instead of freaking out and going towards the drive-thru, you go, oh, this is what Stephanie was talking about. I need to get better at my AQ, my adaptability. Since I didn't plan for my day, I didn't plan my meals, or maybe something happened that was out of my control. Guess what? I can go, I'm going to be okay. I don't have to freak out and go through the drive-thru or grab the donut because my day didn't go the way that I expected it to. I'm going to go home. I have the mindset and the understanding that I'm going to take control of this. I'm going to go make myself a low-carb wrap. EQ, how well do you handle your emotions? This is one of my favorite things to teach our kids, as they might freak out, or we as adults might freak out or lose our EQ, is helping you understand that, oh my goodness, this is a moment in time where I'm going to freak out and my emotions are going to take root or control. And I normally would go have a drink. I normally would go in this situation, as it did not go the way I wanted to, and my emotions are coming up hot and heavy. I normally would eat a pack of Debbie snacks, or I would, whatever the case may be. Now I realize I can handle my emotions. I don't have to react in a situation. I can respond when appropriately, and I can control my emotions. Does this make sense? All of these things will affect whether you hit your goals or not. All of these things will affect whether you get to the end of the year and you feel better, stronger, healthier, or not. It starts up here. And now that you've listened to me, you have the awareness of an EQ. You have EQ, you have AQ, like collecting the facts, not being offended by other people, and realizing that it is so important to work on your thinking. It is so important. And that might just start by shutting off the news and reading books. That's why I like to go through books on here. We're traveling. I don't have a new book. I told Steve I need a new book. I just don't know what it's going to be. My husband is writing a book right now. He's upstairs. Actually, I'm really excited for this book. So he's been working on it. I think he's on chapter 3. I think he's got 10 chapters laid out. It is going to elevate your thinking when he's done. But I'm going to share some podcasts with you. So instead of maybe listening to garbage on the way to work, maybe you have a long commute, Use it as your drive time university, right? Drive time university, which means listening to something that's going to elevate your thinking. I'm going to share with you the podcast that I love. You can listen to Audible books. You can read books. The key to listening to information, whether it's from me or anybody else, is take one thing that you've learned and put it into action. So something else that we need to work on is we gather all of this information and yet we fail to put it into action. Action is the secret, right? You learn, you have the awareness, and then you put it into action in your own life. So if you're listening to a podcast and they teach you something and you're like, I could do that, do it, right? If you're reading the book, if you went through the Eat That Frog book with us and you were like, oh my goodness, I procrastinate on this thing, then my hope is you did that thing today or yesterday. You're going to do that thing soon. So you don't procrastinate on it. You eat that frog and you have success in your day. So I love talking about mindset. I love talking about thinking. I'd rather be a think coach than a keto coach. I would 100% rather talk about thinking and elevating your mindset and giving you tips and tricks over giving people recipes. Now, I know that's what people want. People want recipes. They want to gather all the recipes. They want 101 recipes. They want to be told how to eat. And I get it. And I will do it. And I've got tons of recipes if you go to ketomomsecrets.com. And I want to help you with more than that, because your life and how you're going after goals isn't just defined by one area of your life. Usually, if you look at your life in like a full circle, you've got your finances, your relationships, your work life, your spiritual life, and your physical life. And if one of those spokes is broken, it affects the rest of your spokes. And so it's important to evaluate your life in different areas. And if you're like, man, I eat Y, oh, my relationships are broken, or I eat this way. And then you kind of look at the spokes in your circle and go, it's because I'm frustrated with my finances. Do you think freaking out about your food is going to fix your finances? No. But if you fix your finances, it will help you with your food. Does that make sense? Like all of these things are intertwined together and they affect the other areas of your life. And so while it might seem overwhelming, or you might go, oh my goodness, I've got a lot more work than I realized, take a deep breath. And I want you to go, all right, if I looked at my life in different areas of my life, where do I really need to put my focus on? Because that would fix the other areas. Finances is a huge thing for people, especially married couples, right? If you fix that, usually fix the relationships. It fixes the health part. Like all of those fall into place, because finances, while people don't like to talk about them, is a huge factor in people's lives of all of the areas. I love that conversation. I can't speak to that conversation at a high level of like an accountant, but I can tell you things that my husband and I have done over the last 18 years of marriage that has helped set us up for success to where we don't have to freak out about that part. So that's a different topic. There's a lot of things we're really excited about. I don't know how we're going to navigate this, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to say it. My husband and I are going to start a different podcast. I don't know if it's going to be something it's called Patreon. We're going to do a couple different things. We've got a couple different names that we want to call it. But I've realized on the Keto Mom page, I can probably talk about maybe 25% of things that I think are either applicable to the Keto Mom page or that I'm excited about. I can talk about health. I can talk about fitness. I can talk about mindset because it talks about your health, but there's 75% of things in our life that I'm still excited about that I think are super important that really don't apply to Keto Mom. I mean, all of it does, just the label. So we're going to start something different, another place that we can really open up and share about the 75% of things that we are excited about as well, right? I will tell you how to eat. I'll give you some insights. I can't do it for you, but I can give you some suggestions. I can help make it simple. And yet there are more things that need to be talked about than just food. And that's what we're excited about. So we are working out some details, figuring it out, and I will I'll share with you as soon as we have that or more understanding what we're going to call it. So thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. I would love to know what questions you have. If you're like, man, I would love to learn more about, and it had nothing to do with food, what would you like to learn about? What would you like to have more education on, or knowledge or wisdom? Like, what is it? Not food. What would you like if there's another area of your life that you would need guidance, wisdom, support, insight. What is it? Relationships, finances, parenting, homeschool, marriage. Like, what do you need? I want to know, because we're going to dive into something super fun probably when we get back from Florida. Oh, thank you, Cindy. You're so sweet. Thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. So I'm answering questions for those of you who've been going, man, I'm so sorry you're on vacation. Our family has set our life up to where we can do school. Like I told the girls they didn't have to do school as we're traveling this week, because we did a whole bunch of school before we left, but this is life school. So like I had said before, teaching them how to navigate through an airport. My husband wants them to understand life. He had our oldest daughter book our next trip. He walked her through online how to find the airplane, or how to find the flights, how to find the best flights, how to book a hotel, what it looked like to get a rental car. Like, that's life. And so we like to do life school. We've set our life up so that we can work from anywhere, do homeschool from anywhere. It's what we've chosen to do. So I'm answering questions. I'm saying that because I'm answering questions. We've just chosen to do it in Florida this week instead of Minnesota. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Reach out with questions. I really would love to know what you want to learn more about, because that will help us launch what we're wanting to launch very soon. So thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you very soon. Reach out with questions and have a wonderful day.